about Project 3 for the Cloud Computing course, which is Image Recognition as a Service over Hybrid Cloud. So for the web tier, we have deployed a web tier application which is built in Java. We have deployed it over OpenStack. As you can see over here, so this is the network topology which we have in the OpenStack, of which we generally get two networks by default, which is the public and the shared one. So over here, we have created a private network for this project with this CIDR as 192.168.10.0/24. And as you can see to the right hand side, this is the web tier instance which we have created, and it is connected to a private network. And this is connected to the extranet router, external router which we have created, which is further connected to the public network, and this is something which is giving us access to the internet. Now let me just go over there just a second. Okay, so if you see in the web tier, so there are two different IPs allocated. So before we talk about IPs, we have chosen M1.medium as the flavor for this instance, which gives us two virtual CPUs, 4 GB RAM, and 40 GB as storage. It's a web tier instance which is currently running and is in power. Which is currently running, and this is two IP address. Fixed one is 192.168.10.60, which is according to our CIDR for the private network, and the other is the floating IP address 172.24.4.126. Now let's just go ahead in the floating IPs. And as you can see, these both are linked to each other. I'll like if you can take a note of this IP 24.4.126. I'll just go over here, and in the bottom right terminus page, I'm just going to go ahead and SSH into that instance. Before I go ahead with that, I'd like to show the instances in the AWS console. So as you can see, there are no EC2 instances currently running. These are the two queues, input queue and output queue, with no messages available and no messages in flight. And these two are the input bucket alpha p3 and output bucket alpha p3. As you can see, in each of them there are no objects currently. So I'll just go back to the EC2 instance list, and on the top right, I'm going to run the multi-thread workload generator. In the bottom one, I'm going to SSH into the instance, web tier instance running on the OpenStack. So let's just go ahead. So as you can see, I am doing SSH into the same instance, 24.4.126, which is same as 24.4.126. I'll just go ahead. It is asking for password. We have configured it in such a way that it doesn't ask for key pair, and instead it asks for username and password. Username over here is Ubuntu. So I'll do just quick IEF config. If you can see over here, the IP address allocated here is 10.60, which is same as here 10.60, which one was for this floating IP. I'll just go back and maybe I'll clear it off. As we can see, this is our jar file for the web tier application which we had developed for project 1. We'll just go ahead and start this one. It is currently initializing SQS and S3, and it will get into a loop where it will start looking for any request which it will receive on the endpoint from the multi-thread workload generator. I'll get this thing ready. Okay, so this is the command for running the multi-thread workload generator. As you can see, this is the IP 172.24.4.126, which is same as here for the floating IP for the instance. I'll just go ahead, I'll start the timer and go ahead with that. Oh, I'm sorry. I need to. I'll stop the timer and reset it. Okay, so here is the multi-load work generator file, and from here we'll be able to run it. Yeah, so this is the command, again the same IP address. Start it, and here we go. So as you can see over here, we have started receiving the image files, and we'll first look into the input bucket. And if we can see, we have already received 100 files. We'll quickly look into the queues, and you can see the image have started enqueuing into the queues. So it was 24 and now it is turned up to be 100. Okay, as you can see over here in the right bottom, the images to be EC2 instances to be instantiated was 20, it is 18, and the running one have increased to 2. Okay, so we can check that into our EC2 instances as well. It will keep on increasing. As you can see, it is in order 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. So it is going to span 20 instances, and we'll get to know as soon as we start receiving results. We'll get to know on both of the terminus windows open over here. So let's see how many, let's wait for it. As we can see, there are 10 instances already instantiating as of now. To be instantiated is 8. Because we were given a maximum limit of 20 instances that should be run. So yeah, that is it, and it's the timer going on. Let's wait for it. So already 16 instances are up, and if we see in queue, we still have 100 messages. So instances have not started receiving the images yet, not processing images yet. So already 19 instances are up. Let's wait for it. Okay, so as you can see, we have started receiving message body, and if we see in the queues, it has started consuming and giving back as well. And on the top side, if you see, we have started receiving results. We'll quickly go into the output bucket and see. So as you can see over here, we have started receiving the output. Yes. So we'll just wait for it to complete. We have already received 98, 99, 100. So uploading in bucket is quite fast in comparison to how it displays the result in the terminus. As you can see, it has already received 100 objects and it has processed everything. It will take quite some time for the output queue and put it back to the terminus. So we'll just wait for it. So 34 messages are still in queue, output queue, and it is decreasing. Let's wait for it. Let's wait for it to finish. Yeah, so as you can see, we've received all the output over here, and these instances will start getting reduced automatically. As we can see, go back into the instances state. So you can see that these have started going, the state is starting to change to shutdown, and only some of which are running. So yeah, so in a few moments all the instances will get turned off, and the time is already 3:50. It had completed before, so I'll just stop it. So yeah, thank you so much. This was our demo for the project third in image recognition as a service. Thank you.